key, man. Under the bonnet. God damn it. Oh, good. Ah! Motherfucker. How does that look? How the fuck does that look, man? I don't know how it looks. But... God. Total disrespect for my car. But yeah. So... this is my Z4. Yeah. It's my Z4. So... how did I even get this car? I'm trying to think. I think it was January, and I think I was in the gym. I'm trying to think. I was in the gym. I was on the massage bed, and I was just scrolling on Marketplace, as you do, because that's what all men do. We just scroll on Facebook Marketplace, looking for a bargain. So, I came across this Z4, and it was up for £400. And the thing that kind of got me thinking was, the car was £400, but also it was pretty close. It was in Fife, and it had a hardtop. And it, on the photos, it was inside of a garage, so I thought, well, that's a good sign. So anyway, I messaged the gentleman selling it, and he said that I was the first message that he noticed, because from what he said, he had about 50 messages about the car, but he couldn't figure out how to get into his inbox, because, well, he was a bit old, so I mean, yeah, that's probably why. So yeah, I went to on Friday. Was it on Friday? No, it was on Saturday. I went to see the car. Was meant to go and see the car, and on Saturday morning I found out that the car didn't actually have any keys with it, which is a bit of an issue, because I thought, well, first of all, how the hell am I going to get the car onto a trailer without keys? Secondly, how do I know the car even runs? But let's be completely honest, for £400, considering that the car came with a hardtop, even if I just sold the hardtop for £400, which is quite cheap, because most of these hardtops are about £800. The cheapest one I found was, I think, £700 at the time. I thought, well, I'm basically getting a free car. So I went and bought the car. The car was left on my dad's trailer. It was left at his work, and funny enough, the night before, my dad says, well, you know what, hopefully no one nicks the trailer. Guess what happened in the morning? Somebody nicked the trailer with the car on top of it. But because I'm such a detective, me and my mate managed to find the car and the trailer. So yeah, we got the car back. Then I decided to MOT it. Well, my dad said to me that he'll just pay for the key getting made for it, so I was like, alright, okay, fair enough. So we got the key made for it. I did some stuff for the MOT. I did all the brakes. Oh god, I'm tired. I did all the brakes. I had an E46 So I took all the parts of that, which were all new calipers, all new discs, front wishbones. It had fairly new shocks on the front as well, so I took them off. As this had broken springs, the guy that had it put a front spring on one of the sides, I think it was this side, but the shock was leaking, so I thought, well, I'm just gonna swap the E46 parts onto it. Which turns out that the Z4 uses a mix of parts. It uses some parts from an E46 and some parts from an E36 and some parts from God knows what else. So the strut tops are E36. The E36 strut top is probably about this, and the E46 one is probably about this. So right now the car is sitting slightly higher at the front than it should be, because it's got a bit more height for the strut top, but also because the E46 springs are slightly higher as well. And I could not be bothered putting the Z4 springs on it because I just couldn't be bothered. Although there were new springs for it, because the guy bought 2 new springs for it, but I just couldn't be bothered doing it. And then my dad, for some strange reason, threw out the other strut off this car, so now I only have 1 new Z4 spring, which is not good enough. So right now this car is running some Bilstein, I think they're B4 shocks, and some E46 springs on the front and strut ups, which I'm not going to do anything with just now, because I have kind of been thinking about selling the car, but then it is a good car, so I don't. Anyway, what's next? I did the brakes, so it's got all new calipers on it, and it's got disc and pads on the front. They're off the E46 as well, brand new, but on the back it seems to use E36 hubs, so that means that the E46 discs don't fit because they're not wide enough, because the E36 hub is about this, the E46 is about this, so they don't fit. So I'm gonna have to get some discs for the back. When I bought this car, it did say in the ad that I had a water leak somewhere, so I changed the bottom radiator hose. That didn't stop the leak. Then I changed the water pump. That didn't stop the leak. Then I changed the thermostat, and that did not that did not stop the leak. Then I decided to change the temp sensor, which was actually the issue all along, which would have saved me a bit of money. But then again, I did change all the bits, so I suppose that's a good thing. What else did I do? Obviously, I done a service on it, so it's got new spark plugs, changed the oil, changed the carbon filter, changed the air filter. I've actually I've changed the oil twice now. What else did I change in this car? Oh yeah, I've put some. Originally the car came with these 18-inch, they kind of look like aftermarket, some sort of aftermarket wheel, which were alright because they had a bit of a lip on them, but they kind of looked like they should belong on a Z3 rather than a Z4, so I managed to get these 19-inch F30 M Sport alloys for it, and they actually really suit the car very well. I think they're probably the most perfect wheel for this car. They just make it look a bit more modern. I'm trying to think what else I did. Oh yeah, I changed the rear boot struts because they were quite rusty. They were only like £15, so that just makes it look a bit cleaner because they were really rusty and a bit of play in them. I changed the rear shocks as well. When you're looking for a set of shocks for these, for some reason, when you look for Z4 shocks, they seem to be a lot more expensive than E46 shocks, even though they're all the same. So I managed to get some quite good ones. Can't remember how much they were. They were quite cheap. I think they were only like £60 for the pair, and they were oh good. They were for a convertible E46, so I would imagine the same, aren't they? I mean, they were the same. It's quite actually easy to change them, although you do have, if you have a hardtop, you have to take the hardtop off, and you have to then put the roof, the soft top up, and then you have to undo like the parcel shelf thing. You have to take off the carpet things, and then you can get to all the bolts. And you don't even have to take the wheels off to do them. You can just unbolt it, jack it up, unbolt it from the bottom, and then literally 2 bolts at the top, and that's it. So that's quite an easy thing. Oh yeah, while I was doing that, because you have to put the hard top up, right? The soft top up, sorry. So I've realised that for some reason, when I press the button to close the roof, it wouldn't close. But if I pressed the open one, it would close. But then when it actually came to locking itself close to the roof, I would have to press the close button to actually lock it. So I ended up pulling the motor out, and somebody has put the wires onto the motor the wrong way around. So I just switched the wires out, then I put a bit more oil into it. I think I used power steering oil because I didn't have anything else, so I just used that, and it seems to work just fine. Usually the motors on them die because they're sitting sort of inside of the rear wing in like a little small basket, plastic basket, and they just get water in them and they just get damaged. So most people sort of relocate it from the inner wing into the actual boot, which is, it's not a big relocation thing, it's just you're just moving it slightly. So that was already done on this car, so I think that's how they messed up the wires. What else did they do to this car? Trying to think. What? Oh yeah, I changed the auxiliary belt because it was squeaking, and then I tried to put M3 injectors on it. Don't ask me why, I just had them lying about. That was a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. So now on hot start, the car has like a 2-step map. Basically, it just does this, and it just revs for no reason. So then you have to cycle the key a few times. But once you've done that, it's fine. Yeah, once you've done that, it's fine, and then it's fine. Other than that, yeah, I've put a new rear quarter on it, new wing, because the one that was on it was quite rusty, and someone fixed it with filler before, and the filler just fell out, and there was a hole in the rear quarter, which was not good, not a good look. But other than that, I've not really done anything else other than like tyres and rocker cover gasket. I did that because it was leaking, and that only lasted maybe 5 months, and it's leaking again. So I don't know if the actual rocker cover itself is warped from heat. Possibly needs replaced. But I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So altogether, I would say that this car has cost me under £2,000. Yeah, probably under £2,000, along with the purchase price of it. So, quite a cheap car. And if you're driving it sensibly, you can get about 27 mpg in town. On a run, I did get it up to 40 mpg on the motorway, so I think that's pretty good as well. And oh yeah, also I bought an LSD insert for it, which I have not yet installed, but I will eventually, because I want to get winter tyres on it as well. So yeah. Damn.